Nestled in the lush green mountains of the town of Visoko, Bosnia and Herzegovina, is a giant monolith shaped like an uncannily perfect pyramid, said to be larger than Egypt's legendary Great Pyramid of Giza. Since its discovery, the structure has sparked an ongoing debate. Is it truly the remains of a forgotten ancient civilization, or is it just a trick of nature and human imagination? With controversial archaeological evidence, ancient tunnels that stretch for kilometers, mysterious symbols, and strange energies said to emanate from the pyramid's peak, this mystery has left both scientists and the public questioning everything we thought we knew about history. Could the Bosnian Pyramid turn everything we've ever learned about ancient civilizations upside down? The search for the truth has begun, and it could leave the world in awe. Don't let the like button be lonely. Don't let the share button wither. And don't let the subscribe button wait for you forever. Where does the discovery start? The mystery rising from the Bosnian hills. The nameless mountain and the man in the cowboy hat. In 2005, in a small and quiet town called Visoko, located about 30 kilometers northwest of the capital Sarajevo of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a seemingly meaningless event unexpectedly ignited the flames of one of the most controversial archaeological mysteries of the 21st century. The town of Visoko, surrounded by rolling hills that look like giant natural helmets, was nothing special. But that spring, a man in a leather jacket and cowboy hat arrived with a strong belief that one of those hills, namely Visoko Hill, was no ordinary hill but an ancient pyramid hidden under the rocks, larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. The man's name was Dr. Samir Osmanagic, a Bosnian scholar living in Houston, Texas, USA, with a passionate passion for ancient civilizations. He had traveled all over the world, from the Mayan pyramids in Central America to the mysterious stone monuments in South America, to research and search for secrets buried by time. And when he arrived in Visoko, a strange feeling rolled over him. An inexplicable intuition, an invisible call from the ground, as if urging him to dig deep, to explore. I don't see a hill, I see a pyramid. According to Osmanagic, it was when he first saw the Visoko Hill that he looked through it, as if he were witnessing a giant shell hiding an ancient structure with the perfect shape of a pyramid. The hill's profile, with its almost symmetrical sides, planted a crazy hypothesis in him. Could someone, tens of thousands of years ago, have built a giant man-made structure and then let nature swallow it up? In the eyes of scientists, it was a ridiculous idea. But in the eyes of the curious, it was like an open door, leading to an unwritten chapter in human history. Initial excavation, stones that don't belong here. Soon, Osmanagic began a preliminary survey with a team of volunteers and geologists. The first digs were carried out cautiously, but as soon as the topsoil was removed, the team was astonished. They found large, square-shaped, chiseled stone slabs stacked on top of each other. Some of the slabs were said to have traces of artificial mortar, which Osmanagic believed was an ancient concrete with extraordinary strength, capable of withstanding 3 times the pressure of modern concrete. If the blocks were indeed created by ancient humans, this would be more than just an archaeological discovery. It would be evidence of an advanced civilization that existed thousands of years before the Egyptians. Explosive reaction, scientific division, media frenzy. Within a few months, news of the Bosnian pyramids had spread like wildfire. Local newspapers, then international media, were all focused on Visoko. The image of Osmanagic in his cowboy hat became a symbol of an archaeological revolution or a large-scale hoax. While many Bosnians enthusiastically supported the project and saw it as an opportunity to revive post-war tourism, traditional academic circles were fiercely opposed. Archaeologists from the University of Sarajevo, the University of Cambridge, and many prestigious institutions declared that Visoko was just a naturally shaped hill, and that Osmanagic was wasting resources and deceiving the public. The mystery multiplies, not just one, but a whole complex of pyramids? But it doesn't stop there. As he continued to study the terrain around Visoko, Osmanagic and his team discovered other hills that also had a symmetrical triangular shape, strangely similar to the pyramids of the Maya or Egypt. He named these hills Pyramid of the Sun, Visoko, Pyramid of the Moon, Pyramid of the Dragon, Pyramid of Love, and even the Pyramid of the Earth. What's amazing is that these pyramids are arranged in an extremely sophisticated geometric and astronomical pattern, leading many to believe that this could not be a random product of nature. The first signals from underground. In 2006, a geophysical survey was carried out with the help of ground-penetrating radar, GPR, scanning equipment. The results were even more astonishing. There were cavities and long tunnels deep underground, some even showing signs of man-made structures. Not long after, the Raven tunnels were discovered, a network of underground tunnels over 2 kilometers long, still not fully excavated, with dry walls, no signs of flooding, and air ionization higher than normal, creating a feeling of full of energy for those who entered. Many began to call Visoko the Valley of the Ancient Gods. A journey begins, and the question still lingers. From an unknown hill to the claim of the oldest and largest pyramid in the world, Samir Osmanagic's journey resembled a science fiction movie. But he did not falter. On the contrary, each criticism seemed to only make him more determined to prove what he believed to be true. To this day, thousands of people from all over the world still flock to Visoko to see the Bosnian pyramids with their own eyes, to feel the energy that many describe as healing, as awakening, as communication from civilization that has been lost in the sands of time. But what is the truth? Is this the greatest archaeological discovery in modern history? Or just an illusion woven by faith and the desire to find miracles? The answer, perhaps, is waiting beneath the layers of rock and soil that are thousands of years thick. Chapter 2. The Pyramid of the Sun. Mountain or man-made construction. When nature is suspected of being a man-made creation. A triangular hill, too perfect to be accidental. Of the countless hills scattered across the Dinaric Mountains, there's only one that has made millions of people wonder. Is this a masterpiece of nature or a relic of a forgotten ancient civilization? The hill, named Visoko, was quickly nicknamed the Pyramid of the Sun by Dr. Samir Osmanagic. And at an impressive height of around 220 meters, it is even taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, which is only 146 meters high. But what makes Visoko special is not just its height. It is the almost perfect triangular shape of its 3 main sides. They are oriented exactly to the 4 compass points, north, south, east, and west, a detail that makes many archaeologists shudder. How many natural hills can be so perfectly oriented? That question has created an unprecedented wave of debate in the contemporary archaeological community. Artificial plains? Geometrical structures, or coincidence? Right from the first excavations, researchers led by Osmanagic found flat stone slabs, several square meters in size, stacked in layers, like giant paving slabs. Some of the slabs are tilted at regular 45-degree angles, forming perfect triangular slabs that encircle the hill. According to Osmanagic's team, this cannot be a normal geological phenomenon. They claim that these are ancient concrete slabs, which are harder and more durable than modern concrete, and are even completely waterproof. To support their argument, samples of the stone were sent to laboratories in Bosnia, France, and Italy. Some analyses have concluded that the material does not exactly match the natural stone composition of the area, and may be the result of some unknown artificial process. Comparison with the Great Pyramid of Giza, who is the real king. When put on the scale, the Pyramid of the Sun begins to overshadow the long-standing symbol of Egypt with astonishing figures. Criteria Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, Pyramid of the Sun, Bosnia. Original height, 146 meters, 220 meters, estimated. Base edge, 230 meters, 360 meters, estimated. Base area, 52, 900 m superscript 2, 129, 600 m superscript 2. Direction of the faces accurate according to compass accurate according to compass. Surface structure limestone covered artificial concrete slab. If these numbers are true, then Bosnia may be possessing a man-made structure whose scale far exceeds anything known to mankind. But just the shape and a few stone samples are not enough to confirm. Internal structure, a heart that is still living. One of the things that has deeply divided the scientific community is the strange signals from inside the pyramid. Using ground-penetrating radar, GPR, researchers have discovered many walls arranged in a regular pattern, with rectangular cavities, like rooms or corridors. They even claim that there is an energy flow emanating from the top of the pyramid, a twisted electromagnetic wave at a frequency of 28 kilohertz. This waveform does not often appear in nature and has led some conspiracy theorists to claim the Pyramid of the Sun is not just an architectural work. It is an ancient device that is still working. With this statement, Visoko is no longer a hill. It becomes a mysterious machine built tens of thousands of years ago with a purpose that modern humans still cannot explain. Unbelievable age. Could it be 30,000 years old? One of the most controversial details is the age of the underground structures. Some charcoal samples found inside the Ravn basements were analyzed using radiocarbon dating, C14. The initial results showed that they were about 29,200 years old, meaning they appeared at the end of the Ice Age, about 27,000 years before the Sumerian civilization, the first recorded civilization. If true, this would turn the entire history of humanity upside down. Who, or what, was capable of building giant pyramids, using advanced concrete materials, having ventilation tunnels, and even broadcasting energy nearly 30,000 years ago? The world has since fallen into an endless debate. The deeper the investigation, the greater the mystery. The paradox is, the more evidence is found, the more questions pile up. If it is a man-made structure, why are there no historical records? If it is so ancient, why is the structure still intact? Why do many electronic devices measure energy waves, but major archaeological organizations refuse to confirm? And is there a force trying to hide something? Many people believe that the Pyramid of the Sun is a strategic secret that governments or global organizations do not want to reveal, because it could shake all the foundations of knowledge about the human past. Hill or pyramid? Science is still divided, but belief spreads. Despite the skepticism of many experts, locals and tourists from all over still believe in the existence of the ancient pyramid. Many people claim to have felt strong energy, had lucid dreams, recovered from illness, or had strange spiritual experiences when standing on or under the pyramid. It is no longer a scientific study. It has become a spiritual movement, a pilgrimage, and even a symbol of human awakening. Whispers from the stone. Who built it? Why is it here? While the questions remain, one theory is slowly spreading like an ancient legend. Perhaps the Pyramid of the Sun is part of a global network of ancient energy devices built by an extremely advanced prehistoric civilization. We used to believe that humanity began 6,000 years ago. But if what lurks beneath the ground of Visoko is real, then our history may have been written wrong. Very wrong. Chapter 3. Mysterious Tunnel System. Paths to the Past. Under the ground of Bosnia, an ancient world is sleeping. The entrance to Ravn, the gate of unsolved mysteries. When arriving in Ravn, a land located about 2.5 kilometers from the Pyramid of the Sun, we will encounter a small, dark cave mouth that seems to swallow all rays of light. But few people expect that behind that rough layer of stone is a network of tunnels tens of kilometers long, an ancient labyrinth buried for thousands of years. Dr. Osman Agic describes the first time he set foot here as entering the gate to a forgotten civilization. There are no traces of animals, no sound of wind. There is only an eerie silence, as if this place does not belong to the present world. Corridors stronger than modern concrete. Inside the Ravn tunnel, researchers have discovered giant stone blocks placed intentionally at intersections, turns, or bottlenecks. Each stone weighs from 4 to 10 tons, but what has puzzled scientists is how they were driven deep underground, in narrow passages that are barely wide enough for a person to bend over. The composition of these stones is also unlike the local stone. Some samples show a precise ratio of sand, quartz, and clay, as if someone had cast the giant stone slabs with a technology we do not know the name of. The question is, why are these stones here? Were they used to seal, or to protect something from outsiders? The air is unusually pure to the point of absurdity. Another strange thing that anyone who has ever entered Ravn has noticed. The air here is unlike any other cave in the world. Despite the lack of a modern ventilation system, the oxygen levels inside are perfectly stable. In many sections, the oxygen content is even higher than the outside environment. There is no CO2, no methane, and negative ions. Good energy particles are extremely abundant. Measuring devices show that the concentration of negative ions in the Ravn tunnel is 50 times higher than in the Amazon rainforest, which is considered the lungs of the Earth. Biologists, meteorologists, and civil engineers are all at a loss to explain this phenomenon. So who, or what, designed this invisible ventilation system underground tens of thousands of years ago? The engraved stones, the imprint of a prehistoric language. The deeper they went underground, the more strangely engraved stones they found, including spirals, interlocking triangles, waves, and symbols never seen before in any ancient writing system. Some linguists believe that this is not writing, but a form of energy code, sacred geometric symbols, used in spiritual rituals or to transmit information in the form of vibrations, similar to the ancient inscriptions in the Egyptian pyramids or the Dropa stone discs in China. If this is true, then Ravn is not just an architectural work, but a living library storing ancient knowledge in the form of symbols. The Mother Stone, a device or a sacred object. At the center of a junction of the Ravn tunnels, the expedition team discovered a round stone the size of a car, which they called the Mother Stone. When measuring with electromagnetic field measuring devices, researchers discovered a vortex of energy emanating from the center of the rock, operating continuously, without stopping, as if this were the heart of the entire tomb system. Some bold hypotheses were put forward. This is an ancient energy generator, used to provide energy to the pyramid. This is a kind of stone brain that stores information in the form of frequencies. Or even, this is a device connecting to other planets, like this Stargate in Babylonian legend. As for the local people, they do not need complicated theories. They only know that anyone who touches the mother rock feels warm, relieved, as if an invisible sadness has just been lifted. Strange phenomena and stories that sound unreal. Many volunteers and researchers who have been to Ravn have said they felt time slowing down, even though no clocks were wrong. Some people heard whispers, even though there was no one else in the tunnel. Some electronic devices suddenly stopped working, then returned to normal as soon as they left the area. Some cameras caught moving shadows. It is unclear whether it was a physical phenomenon, a spiritual phenomenon, or interference with the device. These experiences, although they cannot be scientifically proven, cannot be ignored because they happen too often, too coincidentally, to be random. Is it true that this tunnel system extends all the way to the pyramids? Based on radar maps, many explorers believe that Ravn is not a single cave, but part of a complex network of tunnels connecting the pyramid in the Bosnian Valley. Sun, moon, earth, love. Some of the passages have been blocked by rocks, intentionally. But why would someone seal the paths leading to the inside of the pyramid? Is there something to hide or protect? There are even theories that this system stretches across continents, connecting to pyramids in Egypt, Mexico, China, forming a global energy network, similar to the ley lines mentioned in Celtic mythology. The journey has only just begun. Despite digging hundreds of meters, researchers have only touched the tip of the iceberg. Behind the stone walls, the sealed passages, there could be secret chambers, ancient devices, or even the remains of creatures that no longer belong to the present human race. Ravn is more than just a system of tombs. It is the biggest remaining clue to an ancient truth that history has deliberately forgotten. Part 4. The mysteries of energy and frequency. Ancient energy generators? When did the stones start singing and the pyramids were more than just tombs? Does the Pyramid of the Sun, radiate energy? In 2012, a team of physicists and engineers conducted a high-frequency measurement at the top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. The results surprised and puzzled the scientific community. A spiral beam of energy was detected emanating from the very top of the pyramid, with a frequency of about 28 kilohertz, an uncommon number in nature, and even more incredible. This beam of waves operates continuously, without interruption, regardless of day or night or weather. What does that mean? According to classical physics, energy cannot come from nothing. But if the pyramid is still emitting waves, then either it is absorbing energy from an unknown source and then emitting it back out, or it is itself a device designed to generate frequencies like an ancient radio transmitter. Sacred geometry and energy resonance structures. The Pyramid of the Sun is not a random block of stone. Studies from the Institute of Physics of Serbia show that its structure is designed according to the golden ratio, phi equals 1.618, a ratio that appears in great structures such as the pyramids of Giza, the Parthenon, and even in the structure of DNA. But more remarkably, the layers of sedimentary rock are arranged like acoustic resonance filters. The energy path from top to bottom resembles a frequency waveguide, similar to designs in modern radar technology. The classic question resounds again. Who, tens of thousands of years ago, understood so well about electromagnetic waves and frequency resonance? Sound coming from underground. Echoes of ancient civilizations? Acoustic researchers have recorded a strange phenomenon in the Ravn Tunnel. Natural sound oscillating at a frequency of 7.83 Hz, perfectly matching the Schumann frequency, the natural oscillation frequency between the ground and the ionosphere, which is considered the heartbeat of the Earth. This is a very special frequency. It has the ability to have a positive effect on the human brain, helping to reduce stress and increase concentration. Some Zen masters and Taoists believe that this frequency is the bridge between humans and cosmic consciousness. It is no coincidence that when going deep into the Ravn Tunnel, many people feel relaxed, peaceful, and even fall into a state of natural meditation. Were the pyramids and their catacombs designed as a giant bioregulator to nourish the spiritual energy of ancient inhabitants? Spiral energy columns, bridges to the other world? Drone images have shown spiral waves emanating from the top of the Pyramid of the Sun. To the naked eye, they are invisible, but when measured with electromagnetic sensors, people discovered that they are unstable energy flows, as if a path between two spatial dimensions. In ancient cultures, the Egyptians called it a jed, a cosmic energy axis. The Hindus called it a chakra, a vortex of energy. The Mayans believed that the pyramids were a place of communication between the earth and the gods. What do they have in common? They all talk about vertical energy axes extending from the ground to the sky, just like what is happening in Bosnia. Pyramid, quantum resonator or healing machine. With a frequency of 28 kilohertz and a Schumann tone of 7.83 Hz, along with an abundance of negative ions, some scientists have begun to hypothesize the pyramid is not a tomb, but a quantum resonator. This idea, although it sounds like science fiction, is increasingly plausible. The structure of the tower resembles the resonance chamber of a violin, but on a scale of hundreds of meters. The emitted frequency is in the range that can affect water, cells, and molecular structures. The quartz system surrounding the tower is capable of amplifying electromagnetic waves. In other words, the Bosnian Pyramid can interact with the human biological body, restore balance, and even heal diseases. Many pilgrims have claimed that they feel miraculously healthier, even though medicine cannot explain it. Ancient communication device, or an interstellar relay station, a bold but intriguing hypothesis. If the Bosnian Pyramid is indeed a frequency transmitter operating at a fixed frequency, then it may not be transmitting to humans, but sending signals into space. Paleoceti researchers have concluded the 28 kilohertz frequency is outside the normal natural wave range. A spiral beam signal, commonly used in extraterrestrial communication technology, according to Dyson's theory. If we place the Pyramid of the Sun as a transmitter, then the remaining pyramids in the valley are substations, forming a prehistoric global communication network. Could it be that ancient beings communicated across space or with other dimensions through these machines? So, who operated that giant machine? If the hypothesis of the pyramid as if the power plant is correct, the most important question is, who built it? The Illyrians, the Celts, the Romans? No civilization in Bosnia had the technology to build such a complex structure. There are no blueprints, no ancient metal tools, no written records. Could it be the work of a prehistoric civilization that was wiped out of history? The ancient giants mentioned in Sumerian legends? Or even a species that did not come from Earth, but once visited? And what if it were to work again? The question that makes many people shudder. If the Bosnian Pyramid is a machine, what happens if it is reactivated? Could it cause a global magnetic ripple effect? Or open a portal to another dimension? Or send a signal to someone out there, awakening something that is still dormant? No one has a clear answer. But clearly, the Bosnian pyramids are more than just rocks and dirt. They are an open question, waiting for humanity to decipher or awaken. Anti-science evidence or hidden truth? Where the story of the Bosnian pyramids is no longer just about geology, archaeology, or energy, but becomes an ideological war, a battle between mainstream science and marginal voices. Part 5. Anti-scientific evidence or hidden truth? When the truth is the most dangerous thing. Samir Osmanagić's shocking claim and the backlash from the academic community. Since amateur archaeologist Samir Osmanagić announced the discovery of the world's largest ancient pyramid in Bosnia, he has not only become the focus of curiosity, but also the target of a fierce wave of criticism. The Archaeological Institute of Bosnia and Herzegovina, the University of Cambridge, and even UNESCO have all called the work an archaeological hoax. Some scientists have called Osmanagić a fantasist, a person who sows illusions in human history. But the question is, if he was just a madman, why did powerful organizations have to take such strong action to refute him? Bans, censorship, and modern witch hunts. Many researchers who had publicly supported the Bosnian Pyramid theory were suddenly stripped of their academic titles, suspended from work, or had their articles removed from scientific journals. A professor at the University of Belgrade, after publishing a study on the energy frequencies of pyramids, was suspended indefinitely. A group of physicists in Italy measured electromagnetic waves in the Visoko Valley, and then all their data disappeared when they published their results. Sound familiar? This is a classic pattern in scientific cover-up cases. Discredit the publisher, tackling the unscientific label, pushing pressure from academia, and making the public stop believing what they see. What is mainstream science defending? Why is the scientific community so outraged? Some hypotheses to ponder. Historical disruption. If the Bosnian pyramids are really more than 30,000 years old, then everything we know about human civilization is wrong. History must be rewritten, affecting academic authority. Scholars and research institutes have invested their lives in asserting that Egypt was the cradle of the pyramids. The emergence of an even larger, older pyramid outside the current system of knowledge would discredit them. Political, economic, religious benefits. If there was a prehistoric civilization, the theory of evolution could be shaken. Monotheistic religions would also have to deal with the concept of divine from another era. And it is not easy for organizations that fund archaeology today to pour money into something not approved from the top. Scientific censorship is not new. History has witnessed many similar cases. Galileo Galilei was forbidden by the church from saying that the earth revolved around the sun. Nikola Tesla was marginalized for his research on free energy. Immanuel Velikovsky, who proposed the hypothesis of prehistoric civilizations being destroyed, was labeled a madman, although many of his theories are now being reconsidered. Could the Bosnian pyramids be just the next victim of the truth is too dangerous to accept? 5.5. Hoax or disinformation campaign. There is an extremely reverse hypothesis. Could it be that the hidden forces spreading fake news about the Bosnian pyramids are a hoax to distract the public from the larger truth? For example, claiming it as a new age scenario to discredit the science, installing fake researchers to undermine the real credibility, creating a media war to make the public forget the main story. The structure is still broadcasting energy every day, a kind of disguising the truth with noise. Do you recognize it? Pilgrims and inexplicable experiences. Despite all the refutations, thousands of people from all over the world still flock to Visoko every year. Not to argue about science, but to experience something that is happening there. They meditate on top of the pyramid. They go deep into the ravine tunnels to breathe the most negative ion-rich air in Europe. They tell of strange dreams, body-shaking sensations, almost paranormal experiences. Many believe that this place is still active, that the pyramids are calling someone back. When mystery becomes a threat, the truth, in many cases, is not allowed to exist. Because the truth can change the perception of an entire civilization, collapse power systems that have existed for thousands of years, and open the door to things beyond human understanding. And the Bosnian pyramids, with everything screaming from the ground, may be the key to unlocking that door. Where is the truth? And do we dare to step forward? The final question, is the Bosnian pyramid a hoax? Or is it a fragment of a lost civilization, slowly rising through the layers of rock? Perhaps the answer lies not in scientific papers or online criticism. It lies in you if you dare to step foot in Visoko and feel it with your own skin. Great! The journey to solve the mystery of the Bosnian pyramids now enters an equally fascinating chapter. Part 6. Is there a global connection between the pyramids? Where we branch off into even bigger, more surprising questions. Are the pyramids of the world not isolated structures, but part of an organized global network built by an ancient civilization, long since erased from history? Hold on tight, because this part is going to be packed with chilling details. Is there a global connection between the pyramids? When artificial mountains come together to tell a forgotten story, the similarities cannot be a coincidence. Despite being thousands of kilometers apart, located in separate cultures, and having no historical connection, the pyramids of the world have strangely similar features. The pyramids of Giza, Egypt, TuTi, Mexico, the White Pyramid, China, the Bosnian Pyramid, Visoko, all have a three-peak structure supposed to represent the Belt of Orion, a system of underground tunnels, extremely precise astronomical calculations. The stone materials are so tightly fitted that a razor blade cannot be inserted, and even strange frequency radiation at the top. The question is, how could ancient civilizations, millennia apart, on different continents, share the same architectural, spiritual, astronomical, and energetic language? Earth energy grid and the location of the pyramids. A mystical theory. The Earth has an energy grid similar to the meridians in the human body, and the pyramids are acupuncture points located at the intersections of this grid. In 1973, researchers such as Christopher Bird and Bruce Cathy created a map of the ley lines, ancient energy lines that run around the Earth. The strange thing, many pyramids are located right on these intersections. Back-end index pointing right, the Bosnian Pyramid is no exception. Its location is almost perfect according to the ley lines grid, as if it was placed there a long time ago by someone who knew very well about the energy structure of the planet. Orion orientation and global astronomical signals. From Egypt to South America, China, Cambodia, and even Bosnia, many pyramids are precisely aligned to the stars, especially Orion's belt. And this cannot be a coincidence. The ancient Egyptians believed that the god Osiris lived in Orion. The Maya believed that their ancestors came from the star of three lights. In Visoko, the tops of the pyramids of the sun, moon, and dragon form a perfect equilateral triangle, with a golden ratio 1.618, which is believed to be a signature of cosmic intelligence. Could it be that all these structures are not just architecture, but astronomical instruments or even signal stations to other planets? The question of a global civilization that was wiped out. A hypothesis that is being discussed secretly by archaeologists and historians is, before the current civilization, there was a global civilization capable of building pyramids, controlling energy, understanding astronomy far beyond our own. But it was destroyed by a catastrophic event. Back in index pointing right, the ruins of that civilization are the pyramids scattered around the world. But over time, they were misunderstood as tombs, or even buried in layers of rock, so that we forgot their true meaning. A great flood? A meteorite impact? Or a war between civilizations? Is the Bosnian Pyramid a link or the center of an ancient network? Some people believe that the Bosnian Pyramid is not just a link, but the ancient center of an ancient energy network that covers the whole world. The 28 kilohertz frequency emitted from the top of the pyramid of the sun matches the modulation frequency of many cosmic signals recorded by NASA. The underground chamber and tunnels connect like the neural structure of the brain. The arrangement of the energy triangle between the three pyramids is reminiscent of a modern microcircuit diagram. Was this place once an ancient energy computer, or a device that connects energy points around the world and out into space? The simultaneous appearance of the pyramids has no reasonable explanation. All the major pyramids in the world, from Egypt, Peru, Mexico, China, Bosnia, were built between 10,000 and 2000 BC. But why do they all appear at the same time, then stop completely? This is a phenomenon that mainstream history has never been able to explain. The only possible answer, back in index pointing right, there is a global wave of construction, coordinated by a superior intelligence. When that civilization disappears, everything stops. When the pyramids speak together. Imagine, what would happen if all the ancient pyramids were reactivated at the same time? An energy wave that covers the Earth? A signal sent to the universe? Or the activation of a sleeping ancient intelligence? The Bosnian Pyramid, emitting energy 24/7, could be the first piece in the domino chain. And if so, who holds the remaining pieces? Great, we are ready to enter a special chapter, where the lines between science and spirituality begin to blur. If the previous chapters were about archaeology, history, and global theories, then Part 7 is when we delve into the land of supernatural phenomena, mysterious experiences, and the presence of something unnameable. Part 7, Mysterious Experiences and Paranormal Phenomena around the Bosnian Pyramids. When the pyramids became portals to the invisible world, something is watching me. Many visitors and researchers who have visited the Pyramid of the Sun area in Visoko have described a strange feeling of being watched, even when there was no one around them. Some even reported they saw shadows moving through the underground tunnels. Electronic devices constantly had interference, suddenly turned off, or the batteries quickly drained. Unusual chills, even though the outside temperature was warm. Dr. Samir Osmanagic once recounted in an interview, "We once discovered shadows moving in the tunnels, which were captured by infrared cameras. But when we turned around to look at them, the data disappeared. Mysterious sounds echoing from underground. In the Ravn underground tunnel system, explorers have repeatedly recorded strange and inexplicable sounds. Unknown whispers coming from somewhere, even though the expedition team consisted of only a few people. Regular, knocking, sounds as if someone was chiseling the walls deep underground, but no one found the source. Some recordings captured ultra-low sound frequencies, similar to the HUM phenomenon, which has been recorded at energy sites around the world such as Taos, USA, or Bristol, UK. Back in index pointing right, there's a hypothesis that these are frequency signals from an ancient energy system that is still operating, or the remaining traces of a lost knowledge. Strange cases of healing. A strange phenomenon that once shocked the Bosnian media. Many people with chronic diseases felt significantly better after just a few hours in the underground tunnel under the pyramid. A woman who had suffered from chronic joint pain for more than 10 years said that the pain completely disappeared after her third meditation session in the energy chamber. A boy with severe asthma no longer needed a ventilator after only 2 weeks of entering the tunnel every day. Many elderly people said that they felt young again after entering the tunnel. Their skin was rosy, their spirits were unusually refreshed. Scientists have begun to measure negative ion levels in the Raven Vault at 40 to 50 times the normal level, combined with a stable magnetic field, which could be the perfect biological environment for cells to recover. Time is distorted. Some people who have stayed overnight in the vault or near the top of the pyramid have experienced the following unbelievable phenomenon. I entered the vault at 3 p.m., only walked around for about an hour. But when I came out, it was 7 p.m. My watch still read 4 a.m. This phenomenon is called time slip, which is often associated with points of high energy activity or disturbed gravitational fields. It has been hypothesized that the Bosnian Pyramid may be creating a local time field, where the flow of time is slowed or disrupted. This is no longer speculation when the geomagnetic wave meter placed near the top of the Pyramid of the Sun recorded unusual time fluctuations, not coinciding with the Earth cycle. Dreams, illusions, and near-human contact. One of the strangest things is that a large number of visitors after leaving Visoko reported similar dreams, as if they had accessed an ancient collective memory stream. Dreams of giants dressed in white robes, standing in the middle of the pyramid entrance. Scenes of ancient rituals using light energy to activate the mountain. Some people dreamed of stars moving in a spiral and converging on the top of the pyramid. An energy expert said, the Bosnian Pyramid may be a mental memory, where ancient information still exists in the form of vibrations. Those who are sensitive will be able to download it through dreams. Unexplained phenomena come from elsewhere. Energy measuring devices at the top of the Pyramid of the Sun detected a vertical column of energy pulsing upwards, oscillating at a frequency of 28 kilohertz. This is something that cannot happen naturally without some technology pushing the energy. Back-end index pointing right, some more extreme researchers have hypothesized that the Bosnian Pyramid could be an ancient broadcasting station, once used to communicate with extraterrestrial entities. Or worse, it is still active. Something doesn't want us to go deeper. The deeper Dr. Osmanagic's research goes, the more strange obstacles he encounters. Machines constantly break down. Tunnels randomly collapse despite previously being stable. Members suddenly fall ill or have accidents for unknown reasons. Some believe that some unseen force is preventing humans from going deeper into the pyramid, which may hold secrets the world is not yet ready to know. We're not sure what we're stirring up. One archaeologist once said, but I started to feel something was awakening. One of the most thrilling and controversial chapters. This is where theories revolve not only around archaeology or supernatural phenomena, but also reveal the forces that may be deliberately hiding the truth. Part 8. Hidden Secrets. Who wants to block the truth? When a mystery lies not only underground, but also in the halls of power. The suspicious indifference of the mainstream archaeology. Ever since Dr. Samir Osmanagic announced the discovery of the Bosnian pyramids in 2005, a wave of fierce opposition has arisen. Not from the public, but from international archaeological organizations, university professors, and major museums. The European Archaeological Commission once issued a statement completely rejecting the pyramid argument, even though no one had been sent to directly survey it. Many scholars have called Osmanagic a dreamer, a pseudo-archaeologist, and even damaging real heritage. Some universities have banned students from writing dissertations on the Bosnian pyramids. Back-end index pointing right, strangely enough. At the same time, dozens of geologists, physicists, and independent explorers visiting Visoko have recorded many unusual phenomena that cannot be explained by modern knowledge. So why does the academic world vehemently deny what thousands of tourists and independent researchers have witnessed with their own eyes? Unusual visits and seized equipment. During the excavation and research, Dr. Osmanagic's team had many contacts with unknown scientists from the US and Europe, offering private cooperation and bringing state-of-the-art equipment. Anonymous calls demanding that the project be stopped because it will have serious consequences. Energy measuring devices were taken away for no apparent reason, or simply disappeared overnight. An anonymous engineer recounted, "We once discovered a stable energy chamber in the tunnel, but the next day, the whole area was sealed off by a group of English-speaking, ununiformed men, and we were never allowed back." Media silence or distortion of the truth? When you search for Bosnian Pyramid on major news sites like BBC, National Geographic, or CNN, what do you find? Articles mocking and disparaging the project. There is no field reporting, despite the fact that this is the largest excavation site in Europe. Words like pseudoscience, superstition, tourist money scam are used without any in-depth analysis. Some independent investigative journalists revealed that every proposal to produce an investigative documentary about the Bosnian pyramids has been rejected by broadcasters, even with adequate funding. Is someone trying to control information? If what is hidden inside Visoko can shake the very foundations of human history, will the education system and power collapse? Are secret societies intervening? Some more daring theories suggest that secret societies, such as the Illuminati, the Freemasons, or occult organizations, may be protecting ancient secrets. Since ancient Egypt, people have believed that pyramid architecture holds the secrets of cosmic energy and immortality. This knowledge has been passed down through clans and secret societies away from the common people to maintain absolute power. If the Bosnian pyramids are not just ancient structures, but also portals to a kind of knowledge that has been hidden for tens of thousands of years, then protecting this secret becomes a sacred duty. The connection between Visoko and awakening points on Earth. There is a special energy map called the Ley Grid, a system of energy lines that connects sacred points around the world. And strangely enough, the Bosnian pyramids lie exactly at an intersection of the Ley Grid, along with places like Stonehenge, England, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, and Machu Picchu, Peru. Some energy researchers believe that these points were once transit stations for ancient knowledge or energy connected by a system that modern science cannot yet understand. If a link in this network, like the Bosnian pyramids, were reactivated, what would happen? Back-end index pointing right break the control, arouse collective memory, or open the gate to a parallel world? The final question: if it is true, would you dare to accept it? A world where ancient civilizations are not only equal to us, but also far ahead of us in technology and understanding of energy. A world where human history did not begin 10,000 years ago, but hundreds of thousands of years ago, reset after many cataclysms. A world where the truth is not just forgotten, but intentionally buried by those in power. If the Bosnian pyramids are real, an ancient power station, a lost technological work, a repository of ancient knowledge, then are you ready to redefine the history of humanity? Great! This is where we enter the climax, where the theories that were considered impossible become perfect pieces in the big picture that the Bosnian pyramids are trying to reveal. Part 9. Impossible but undeniable theories. When the absurd can be true, did aliens build the Bosnian pyramids? This is probably the most controversial theory, but also the one that is the hardest to disprove. Circumstantial evidence is cited. The stones that make up the pyramids were cut with such precision that modern technology struggles to replicate them. The energy frequency emitted from the top of the pyramid is stable, spiraling, and pointing straight up into space, similar to the design of a directional antenna. The chosen location is right on the planetary energy intersection, similar to other ancient structures suspected of being related to extraterrestrial beings, Nazca, Giza, Baalbek. Suppose you are an alien civilization that wants to build a signal transmitter or a planetary monitoring station. The most ideal place is at the Earth energy intersection. Are the Bosnian pyramids not for humans to use, but for them to monitor? A prehistoric Earth civilization that has reached a superior level? Many independent researchers believe that the Bosnian pyramids are the ruins of a forgotten ancient Earth civilization, even predating Atlantis. Amazing coincidences. All the major pyramids in the world, Egypt, Mexico, China, and Bosnia, are oriented towards the constellation Orion or the Sirius star system, as if they were designed to communicate with a point in the universe. In ancient maps and myths from many civilizations, there is always a golden age, when people lived in harmony with energy, possessing technology that we now call magic. Scroll, a Sumerian inscription over 5,000 years old, describes a luminous mountain that emits sound. Are they talking about a structure identical to the Bosnian pyramids? The pyramids as ancient quantum devices? There is a new hypothesis that has emerged recently, coming from quantum physicists and energetics. The pyramids are not just structures. They're ancient quantum computers powered by the vibrations of the Earth. The underground tunnels are like microprocessors, conducting energy in the form of sound waves and magnetic fields. The chambers inside are resonance points, where energy is concentrated to download data or change the state of human consciousness. Back-end index pointing right, those who meditated in the Bosnian pyramids said, "I saw the whole universe as if I was no longer myself, but part of something bigger." The Bosnian pyramids and the planetary activation network. This ambitious hypothesis comes from mystics and energy architects. Perhaps the Earth was once covered by a network of energy structures called the planetary activation network. Each pyramid is an energy node that, when working in unison, can stabilize the planetary magnetic field, protect the Earth from cosmic radiation, raise the collective vibrational frequency of humanity. Exclamation mark, and if that is true, then the Bosnian pyramids are the missing piece, causing this entire network to sleep for millennia. Could it be that if we restore it properly, we can awaken the Earth again? What if this secret is publicly confirmed? If tomorrow, the United Nations or UNESCO announces, "We confirm the Bosnian pyramids are ancient man-made structures with active energy systems and do not belong to any known civilization." Back-end index pointing right, what will happen? Human history will have to be rewritten. Religions and ideologies will collapse or be completely restructured. The organizations that control energy, money, and knowledge will lose power. Most importantly, humans will be forced to look at themselves, no longer the pinnacle of evolution, but only apprentices in a vast universe. We stand on the threshold of a truth buried for tens of thousands of years. What you are reading may not be in your textbooks. You may have thought the pyramids are only in Egypt, but now in Bosnia, a peaceful land amidst green mountains, something is awakening. Will you turn away, saying, "That's crazy"? Or will you quietly admit, deep down, we always know there is something beyond all human understanding? Great, let's move on to Chapter 10, a powerful conclusion, combining everything we have discovered to come up with an overall hypothesis, along with final deductions about the Bosnian pyramids. This is where the pieces will connect, and you will see the whole picture of a mystery that defies all common sense. Part 10, Conclusion and Personal Hypothesis, a revolution in thinking. When the great secret is revealed, we must not only know the truth, but face ourselves. From mystery to story. After going through dozens of hypotheses, researching, exploring, and analyzing every angle of the Bosnian pyramids, it can be affirmed that without a major change in the approach to history, the truth will remain hidden. But one question always remains. Why couldn't we understand this from the beginning? How could an ancient structure be so ignored and so strongly opposed? Why were so many ancient civilizations, without modern technology, able to build such great structures? Are we being limited by our own beliefs about the world? The Bosnian pyramids are not just a physical structure, but a question about the nature of humanity. Do we really understand our own history? Or are we living in a story whose very writers have chosen to forget a very important part? The master theory, an ancient civilization, energy, and aliens.